Hey, we're back for chapter 3 of Core Justice, written by me, C.G. Cooper. Me with my glasses now, looking more official. I guess I need to get more that used to looking at the camera right there, over there. So let's go with chapter 3. Chapter 3, Outskirts of Nashville, Tennessee. Dante was screaming into his cell phone. What do you mean that motherfucker's still alive? I pumped that boy full of lead. He listened intently as the speaker on the other end of the conversation relayed more information. Well, you tell that bitch she better get her eye on things and tell me as soon as that fucker gets released. Language. Dante stared down at his phone, seething with rage. How the hell had everything gone so wrong? A week ago, he'd had a crew of promising members and a highly profitable business. Now he was left with a crew full of worthless bitches. To make matters worse, the media and the police had picked up on the bloody attack, and now Dante was on the run. Never in the same place 2 nights in a row. He'd done it before down in Louisiana, but this was different. He felt like the whole world was looking for him. Maybe it was time to head back to New Orleans. No, he had to stay in Nashville and finish what he'd started. Besides, if he went back south, he'd be laughed at as he ran back into town hiding from the authorities. He'd worked too hard to let everything go bad. He had too much raw talent. No, he had to finish things with this damn Marine. Damn Marine. How the hell could they have known that Shorty was about to attack a Marine hero? It was plastered all over the news about how the returning Navy Cross winner and his fiancée had been brutally attacked in the middle of busy downtown Nashville. Local authorities and veterans groups were in an uproar. Roving bands of retired military and their supporters walked the downtown streets just waiting for provocation. The Marine veteran had turned into a folk legend in a matter of days. Stories varied as to the exact chain of events from that night. The police were being unusually tight-lipped. But what no one could deny was that somehow this one former staff sergeant, in self-defense, had killed 3 men, blinded a 4th, and wounded the only one to escape, Dante West. What seemed like a simple initiation at one point had now turned into a complete nightmare for Dante and his crew. Just over a week prior, his hookers could peddle their wares, his pushers could sell their drugs, and his boys could walk the streets sporting their colors. Now the police had identified the one silent gang. Shorty had helped their efforts by squealing like a pig and unloading anything and everything he knew about Dante and NON. Other than Dante, the blinded Shorty was the only other gang member to survive Cal Stokes' wrath. Shorty had been taken to the hospital, where he'd been pronounced healthy, save the loss of 2 eyes, and remained under the supervision of the police and a hospital staff. Under very basic interrogation, a scared and defenseless Shorty had divulged the entire plan for the night's attack, including why the couple was picked and who NON and its members were. Shorty had outed Dante and his entire crew. It was a complete and total disaster for Dante, who'd spent the time since his move to Nashville carefully choosing new recruits and keeping his base of operations under the radar of the local police and other rival gangs. Now NON was national news, and he'd already felt the pressure from his rivals. Hell, the media had even taken to making fun of the gang's name. Enough was enough. It was time for Dante to take back control. He hadn't worked so hard to let it fall so fast. He would push the envelope and show that damn Marine how bad things could really get. Again, just, this was a pretty straightforward chapter, but some of the things that I recognize are, giving, how would he know about Shorty and telling all that stuff to the police. That if I was writing strictly on Dante's point of view, he probably wouldn't know those things. But in the beginning, I let a lot of those details slide into the narrative. Once again, if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. I would love to get to those if you have direct comments about that chapter. But we will move on to chapter 4.